Hey guys, yeah! It is Wednesday, 11/15/2013, and DJ Wonder Chrissy is here to do some live streaming. Figured I'd do some live streaming. It's a lot less work once I got this up and going. We had to fix some of the audio yesterday. But let's talk about what's going on in Chi-Town, right? The city of Chicago. Because we're in the Midwest, we are on the outskirts of Chicago. Chicago is having some tough times as they deal with the migrants. And some of the migrants want to go home. Easily said, folks. I don't know if these people still have a passport. They are probably cashed out once they've come over the border by the cartel. And now they're stuck in Chicago living in a tent or a police station. Or, geez, we got 800 of them at least living in O'Hare Airport. So when you fly in to vacation here, you'll be greeted by hordes of illegal migrants at the airport asking for money and food and whatever else you can provide them. So there you go. Welcome to the city of Chicago. Brandon Johnson. People are quickly finding out that Brandon Johnson is he's a sly devil. He's definitely a sly devil, and Lori Lightfoot. She had her problems, but she never really openly, at least not a lot. Maybe sometimes she would lie to people, but Brandon is, you can never trust what he says. He'll tell you A and end up doing Z. He's quickly trying to get, he's got a couple of places where he wants to put some of these FEMA tents up and get that going. One of them's in, I think, Brighton Park, and the other one's on the south side somewhere too, where they were supposed to do some low-income housing at I think it was a Jewel that was closed down, and a big parking lot. The store's sitting there empty for many years, and some developer was in the process of getting approval, and actually maybe had approval to start some low-income housing. It looked like a nice. Saw some renderings of it on some of the media reports. Looked like a nice place, but now I guess Brandon's going to take over part of the property to throw up one of his tent cities for the winter and go from there. So at least that they're saying the flow of buses is down. I guess yesterday they had 2 buses come into town, where in the past they would get 10 to 20 a day. So it has slowed down. These folks coming across the border are finally realizing Chicago's not the best place to hunker down for the winter when you don't have a lot of resources. Think about it. We've got like 21,000 of these people here. The city has commandeered several hotels, but these hotels can only handle like 150 families at a time. So it's not like you commandeer a hotel and you've housed everybody. No, there's oodles and oodles of these people all across the city now. And who knows what mischievous things they're doing. I know out here in a local town they had discovery of a brothel going on over here, and I'm sure that's happening all around. I even saw a video of a gentleman who travels the world doing videos, and he did a ride along with an ex-cop in not too long, probably the middle of August, and he showed them off the Gold Coast. They were in an alley in one of the Gold Coast streets. There was actively people soliciting for drugs and other things in this alley as they pulled through there. So he was kind of astonished because the Gold Coast, if you don't live in Chicago, the Gold Coast is one of the exclusive, very, very ultra exclusive area. It's considered like the Rodeo Drive of the Midwest, although it's not as exclusive as the Rodeo Drive, but it's pretty close. It's pretty close. So that's what's happening there, and even Michigan Avenue, which is close, it's part of the Gold Coast, I guess. They're having problems. There's a real large restaurant called Grand Lux down on the Michigan Avenue area. Just closed. Huge restaurant. I think it was associated with the Cheesecake Factory. So it was a great place for people to go to for reasonable food and large quantities, right? So just saw a report the other day that now officially Michigan Avenue is at 30% unfilled space vacancy. So as if you've been watching our video, that 30% number, at least for office buildings, is like the death spiral number. So when you hit 30% occupancy or unfilled occupancy in an office building, that's when everything falls apart and the finances just don't work anymore. We're having, I mean, even it's not just going on in the city; it's happening in the suburbs. They're in Schaumburg, which is a very affluent, well-resourced, lots of retail, lots of office space. There's at least 3 office buildings there that have gone under, and these are like the primo office buildings. One was Schaumburg Towers, like 1 million square feet of space that was bought by somebody about 5 years ago, and they basically can't make the numbers work. They handed back the keys to the bank. And like a block away, there's Schaumburg Center, which has some, good tenants. It's got like, I forget how much square foot they had, but at least 500,000 square feet of office space there. And that beautiful building. There's PepsiCo there. There's several, well-known tenants and a lot of medium to smaller tenants too, but they went under. And then like a mile away in Rolling Meadows is Continental Towers, which has three towers, 1 million square feet in total, and they went under too. Beautiful buildings. I've done videos there. They have beautiful flowers in their planters outside that we've done some video of in the past. And I know some people that used to work there, and it says great office space, and done. So plenty of office space here in the suburbs. And I think I mentioned this before. I have a friend who used to work for Northern Trust. He no longer works for them, but he's talking to some of their friends, like many of the people in Chicago. Northern Trust is located, I believe, in the South Loop. He's got a lot of friends that still work down there, and they're being forced to go back into the office by their company because I really believe the city's starting to put the arm lock on some of these companies because if you don't realize, I mean, if the office space is not filled up with people, the building owner has a problem, and then he's going to look to have his taxes reduced. And then think about all these people that come down there and they spend money for lunch, they spend money after work, they spend money, they just spend money every day. But he said he talked to some of his buddies that were forced to go back downtown, and he said they were amazed. He said places that they used to go to for morning for coffee and donuts, gone. Places where they used to go at lunch to get their hair cut, gone. Places where they used to go at lunch to have lunch, gone. Places where they used to go to have drinks after work, gone. So I guess it's a mess. I haven't been down there. I'm actually afraid to go downtown Chicago, folks. It's the crime that you hear about, especially River North is like the touristy area of Chicago, and after dark or after, 10 midnight or so, it's not safe to be walking the streets down there in the River North area. There's been many, many incidents that there's been things happening down there that you don't want to be anywhere near. And I actually had a friend who was down in that area like 2 months ago for a wedding at the Peninsula Hotel. And I told him before he went, I said, be careful. I said, even though you're in a nice area, a lot of nasty stuff happens there once it gets dark. So, as it will, that weekend, there was an incident at two cars at a stoplight, like a half a block from his hotel at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they had a little incident. Let's just call it an incident. And there's some people were injured. So there you go. There you go. Be careful where the surroundings you put yourself into and what's going on around you. There was an incident in the southwest side neighborhood of Beverly where a lady was coming home. It was probably 7, 8 o'clock at night. She had her 14-year-old daughter with her. She pulls her beautiful SUV into the garage, and these two guys come out from the front of the house running with their tools drawn. We'll just call them tools. Their tools drawn, and she's screaming. She's screaming. Google it on Google, Chicago, Beverly, carjacking, and you'll find it. But the story gets worse. So when her husband comes out, he coaxes him into taking his Audi, which was sitting there too, and these guys didn't know how to start it really, and so finally they took it and took off with it. I guess the cops found that car the next day with a young girl driving it, so they arrested her, and then last night, I guess some people came back because the car that they stole, the Audi that they stole, had keys for the other car in it. And they found those and they were coming back for the other car. And I'm not sure if they got it or not, but they came back. They came back and they were looking for the other car. So 2 cars in like 3 days that this family encountered, and I'm sure they got some PTSD going on there, folks, for sure. So be careful out there. And Beverly is a pretty safe neighborhood, although I know they had an incident last year there also. So you're not safe anywhere. I mean, they've been coming out to Oak Brook Center and stealing stuff like it's candy. Schaumburg over here, Schaumburg, Woodfield Mall. Just last week, there was an incident where somebody was carjacked in the middle of the day. She had her and her son, and the cops ended up chasing this guy, and he ended up being a career criminal, and that's what he just does. He just steals cars. So there's no shortage of crime here in Chicago, folks. I'm here to tell you that, and it's a shame, but you get what you vote for, folks, right? You get what you vote for. The people are not happy with Brandon Johnson in Chicago, but that's what they voted for. That's how it works. That's how it works. Sorry to tell you. I'm not happy with what's going on in our state, right? But we got JB, big old JB, and I don't know. Our taxes are, I don't know how we stay afloat. There's recent reports are showing we've spent $550 million on the migrants this year via the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois. So there you go. We're spending money like it's water. No one knows where it goes or what it is used for. People interview these migrants at the police stations. They say they're not being fed, and what they are being fed is garbage. So they're going to spend more money. They just did an RFP for food service for many of these locations, shelters that they have. And one of the things of the RFP said they're looking for culturally correct foods for these people. So just American food is not good enough. They want the plantains, they want the rice and the beans, they want the tacos and the chimichangas and burritos, I guess. I don't know what you would call culturally correct, but we got a lot of Venezuelans here, and they're getting a dose of Midwestern winter, folks. So it's not going well. You can check out, I just released a video this morning about some of the news reports relating to the migrants and what's happening as winter comes. And the flow has, as I said earlier, the flow's kind of stopped a little bit. Had two buses the other day, and the flow and the word has gotten out that maybe Chicago's not where you want to be in the middle of winter, living in a tent or, with limited shelter resources. So I think they're getting the city of Chicago is getting a little pause, but they've dug themselves a huge hole, folks. It's a huge hole, and I'm not sure they can crawl out of this very efficiently. So there you go. There's my update for today. I'm going to close this and hope you guys enjoy. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We got a lot of content. We do car shows. We do some foodie stuff. We do some casino videos. We got Susie Q Slots here making content for us. And we're doing a lot of different things. Check it out if you like it. Subscribe, like, and share with your friends. So that's all I have for today. Check back. I'll be doing these on a regular basis, hopefully, and got lots of information to bring to you guys. And over and out, DJ Wonder Chrissy. Goodbye.